Good morning, my loves. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you're returning, or welcome if you're new. I'm Tony, your paper crafting bestie, hopefully. And today I want to talk about journaling and what to do when you're at a loss for what to journal about, but you want to stay consistent, or you don't have a lot to say, but you want to fill a page. So let's get right into it. A lot of times when I journal, and this is a self-imposed thing I put on myself, but I feel like I need to fill the page when I journal. I don't know why. I'm trying to get past it. And I think this has been helping when I feel like I don't have a lot to say. So the first thing I want to talk about is filling your page with something pretty or a scrap so that it takes up a little bit of room, and then you only have a smaller area to journal with. You can make it as small as you want. Like on this one, I don't have a whole lot of room to journal, which is perfect for a day that I'm journaling and I don't have a lot to say, but I want to write. This one I've got a little bit more, and this has nothing. So it's a good way to use your supplies, use your scraps, and also make it feel like your journaling is more filled, because let's be honest, we all like a chunky journal, right? This is where I was just doing morning pages, and then this is where I started adding scrapbook paper or decorative paper or collage elements to it. I don't always journal in order as far as my pages go. A lot of times I'll skip around just to a page that appeals to me. So I like to pre-decorate my pages with very little pressure. So I'll show you real quick. For example, this is just a napkin that I apparently have some gold paint that spilled on it, and I added it to a piece of sticker paper so that it gives it a little bit more depth, and then I can glue directly on here so that it doesn't warp it. But we're gonna just tear a piece of this and we'll add it to the edge. Let's round those corners though, because I don't like my corners sticking out. I think I might need a new corner rounder here pretty soon. This one's getting a little messy, and it's not cutting as nice as I would like for it to. I use it a lot, and I clearly use the bigger side more than anything because it matches all of my pages. So this is almost the perfect width or length. I'll go through and trim it off a little bit, but I'm just going to use a little bit of my Fairly Arts Precision Craft glue. And just as a disclaimer, I will link this glue below. I am an Amazon affiliate, so I do earn a very tiny commission when you purchase from my links. Please don't feel obligated. You don't have to, but it does help keep me going so that I can afford to make content. Oops. Oh, I may have rounded those corners a little too much, but that's okay. We'll go back in with my corner rounder and scissors and trim that up. If I can find my scissors. Turn this around here. And then I also want to use some of this is my Forever Fields ephemera pack from Maggie Holmes. Pretty sure I have the paper as well. But let's see if there's any elements in here that we can add just to fill up a little bit more room. I try not to use words just because I feel like if I'm going to use a word, then this page needs to incorporate the word I have on here in some way, whether I was feeling inspired or whatever the case may be. But something like that would work. Not really feeling like any of these. You could do something like this, details of the day, and put it on there and then just journal about your day. I don't really want to use any of those. So they do have a little guide on the back, and I don't think any of these are really going to... I was just looking for something to cover up the white out here. Or correction tape, it's not really white. That might work, but I'm not seeing anything. So then I will go into I could use another piece of this somewhere, but I don't want to do that. Or I could go into my stickers, which I have an idea. I have a little book of ephemera and stickers. I do believe this is a budgeting binder. I found it at a thrift store. And we'll just add a couple of these stickers on somewhere to cover that corner. And I think I got these at the Hoblob. I just want something that's going to maybe cover in there and maybe like that. I love a black and white against a bright color. I just think it looks really cool. Just adds a little bit of contrast. Cover that up and we'll trim those off. And I'll trim off the edges here as well. And then I can treat this as a double page spread or 2 single pages, however you want to do it, whatever, it's your journal. Oops, just cut into my journal. Oh well. And trim that off. We'll trim this off. And then I don't like to waste, so I'll put that down here. And this one I'll put in this corner. Oops. And then we have a little bit of a spread that we can, oh, let's see, did I stick this to the other page? And now it's going to take up, this takes up more room so you don't have to journal as much. And then this leaves it a little bit bigger if you maybe get on a roll and need to add more. So that's my first little tip for filling up a page. And my second one is when you don't know what you're journaling about or what to journal about. I don't have kids. I think, a pretty boring life. So sometimes I'm like, well, what am I going to journal about? What is significant to write about? And I can't come up with anything. That sticker stuck to me. That sounds like I want to write. So enter my journaling blocks. I made these a handful of years ago, and I made a little bag for them. For the moments where I don't know what I want to journal about, but I know that I want to journal. For me, the act of writing is very soothing and relaxing. So I like to physically write down, just write. And I've had pages in my journal where I say things like, I have no idea what I'm writing about. I don't really have a topic, but I like writing. So here I am writing. Stuff like that. Stupid stuff. Who cares? It's your journal. Nobody's going to see it. But in the times that I want to actually have substance in my journal, I made myself a set of journaling blocks. And I will just reach in and pull one out. And the word on this one is cultivate. What can I write about cultivating? So that'll give me a jumping off point to journal about. I don't know how many are in here, 12 maybe? Connect. I could journal about connections or connecting or whatever this means to you. I can journal about intention. I should probably seal these just so these words don't come off, but I can journal about intention. I haven't had access to these. Were in a box in a garage in my other house until recently, so I'm very excited that I have them. So it's kind of fun because you just reach in and pull one out that you want, just like a surprise. Balance. How can I have balance in my life? What am I trying to balance? Past. Journaling about the past. It could be a story about the past. It could be something you're trying to overcome about your past. I am blurry. Happiness. What makes you happy? What does happiness mean to you? So there's all different approaches you can take. I think I put these together really quick and didn't weed them very well. Peace. You could journal about peace in the world, why we need peace right now in society. And journal about committing, vulnerable, focus. How many do I have? Let's see, 4, 8, 10. Oh, I definitely have more than 12. So all I did, and if you want to see a tutorial on how I did this, let me know because it's super easy. It's all Dollar Tree materials. You don't have to have I did cut the words on my silhouette cameo, but you don't have to have that. You can write them in. You could use a sticker. Alignment. We've got future. We have growth. Forgiveness. This is a big one that comes up in my journal a lot. Secret. You have a secret you want to write about? You can put it on there. This is hot pink. You can't tell from my camera, but it is hot pink. Gratitude. This is a good one. When you don't know what to journal about, the things you're thankful and grateful for. And then finally, journal a memory. I lost my mom about 13 years ago, 14 years ago actually. And sometimes I just like to write down a memory I have of her if I'm thinking about her. And so that's why this word came up on here. But how many are here? Let's see. There's 17. And all these are the Dollar Tree blocks. Their version of Jenga, the little ones. And I just painted them, grunged them up a little bit, and I went online to find a bunch of words. And eventually I'll fill it more. That's why there's a weird amount, because I have a bunch more blocks. So I do need to seal these. I should do that. But this is just a nice way, and I keep them in a little bag. So that way sometimes I'll pull them out, look at them, and be like, oh, I think I want to journal about the memory I said, or balance, or intention. Sometimes I just reach in, grab a block, and that's what I journal about. So You don't have to have blocks. They don't have to be fancy. You could just write on a piece of paper and fold it and stick it in a jar or an envelope and pull from that. It really helps when I'm not 100% sure what to journal about. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some sort of maybe starting point, or if you were stuck in your journaling journey and you really weren't sure how to proceed, or you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't have anything to talk about. So hopefully that helps. If you guys want to see a tutorial on how I did this, let me know in the comments and I will be happy to post, because I do want to make some more blocks. If you have any great ideas of words that I could put on my blocks, put that below too, because I'm always searching for ideas for this. So anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hope you enjoy your journaling a little bit more now, and I will see you in the next one.